Step out in the spotlight, walk onto the stage, feeling like a million.
So when I got the email for this thing, right, you wanted like a song like for this. So from the time I got that email to now, I've just been like writing a song. I wrote one for this. The song's called You're Dead. It is super depressing. It is not a cheerful number. It's called You're Dead because the chords for it are D, E, A, and D.
What'd you call your boots?
They're like retired circus workers, like a carny who made it.
Oh, yes, you are.
I've never been interviewed before, man.
What?
Yeah.
Feeling nothing, rain standing outside in the rain. Well, the road we walk is.
My mom had a bunch of old cassette tapes. Still think it's the best album that you could ever give somebody who is a kid trying to get into music. It was a soundtrack to Good Morning Vietnam, and it just had like all different, like a great introduction. You know, you got everything from like the Beach Boys to Louis Armstrong on that record, and then like in between it, you got Robin Williams doing his little DJ stuff, so you get like a touch of comedy too. And then it was What a Wonderful World was the first song I ever heard that like made me realize that like I felt different about music than like the rest of my family. Like I was like, oh, like I played it until the tape broke. I loved it, and I knew that I wanted to do something with it. And it's funny because I didn't start playing guitar until, you know, after I'd left home. I was an adult, but like from a very early age, I was like, man, this is what I want to do.
Do you remember how old you were?
4 years old.
4?
Yeah.
You remember back to 4?
It's one of my earliest memories. Like I said, man, it's the most important like musical moment in my life. It was, you know, all the songs I was in. Baby, please don't go down to New Orleans where the sun don't show. Baby, please don't go. And like. Then like What a Wonderful World hit, and then yeah, just all that. I have a copy of it hanging up on my wall, you know? It's a very important record to me. The first time I had like access to one that I could play regular, I just decided to buy a guitar. And it was a Fender SoCal Stratocaster with a single humbucker pickup, and I was gonna be a grunge musician. That was probably 2005, 2006. I think I was 17 or 18. I just moved out of my house. I was living on my own, and I decided, man, I'm learn how to play this thing. I'm tired of not knowing how to play guitar, man. Oddly enough, I had a buddy, he asked me to write him some song lyrics. And I was like, yeah, sure, man. I wrote him these lyrics. And then he was like, well, I don't know how they're supposed to go, so you got to sing them for me, right? And I was never a singer. But I was like, okay, I guess. And I sung them for him, and then he was like, cool, I guess you're in the band now. And I was like,
well.
And yeah, so I'd never played guitar or anything. And then I had expressed interest in wanting to play guitar. And he was like, well, I'm the guitar player. So like he wouldn't show me anything. So almost out of spite, I was like, nah, man, to hell with this. And I went and bought a guitar. First song I ever learned how to play was Seven Nation Army because it was easy. And then showed back up at band practice with my guitar in tow. And that band didn't work out. We didn't stay together. A couple years later, I just turned 21, and I met these traveling cats, and I started traveling around. I get on the road, right, and I'm super poor. I'm living out of a tent, so I was bored out of my skull. And I was like, man, I should have brought a guitar with me. So I switched over to playing an acoustic guitar, and well, that's all she wrote. You know, I went into that, and that was it. $45 pawn shop special. Yep.
Yeah.
Put some decent strings on it, and away we went.
Because you know what? You don't have to be precious about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man, yeah. The instrument doesn't make music. You make the music, you know?
Take 2 steps forward, and now take 2.5 steps back.
I think give me one full take through the whole song. I'm gonna overplay, obviously, and then we can go back and yank out some of the decent ones. Yeah, I think so. I just tuned it. Yep, we're good. Let's try to find, because when you think he's gonna change, he doesn't.
That way he'll be able to see where he's at in the song. Oh, okay. Boom. That way you can see where those breaks are at.
Sweet.
All right, then the sax end out, and then it'll start over. Okay, it's good.
When the days all blend together, and the nights do just the same, you end up feeling nothing, rain standing outside in the rain.
I've heard people play old guitars with like the deadest strings. And look at Willie Nelson's guitar and tell me that the guitar matters. You know what I mean? Like it's got 14 holes in it. You know, like it's about the person playing the guitar. That's who's doing it. That's who's creating it, man. You can get another guitar. You can't get another you.
out to greener pastures.